it's very exciting right now. We're about to launch the first set of trading cards in 2 days. So it's a lot of work behind the scenes. Victoria and the team and the Discord and everyone is just working so hard right now, and everyone's just so excited. But yeah, I guess it was just after New Year's Eve, and Ava Fabian calls me, and I'm like, why is Ava calling me? It's like weird when you get a phone call from people that you haven't heard from in a long time.
Yeah, sure.
So you kind of let it go to voicemail because you're like, I'm not quite sure what she wants, or maybe she doesn't mean to call me. And it was really late at night because our time difference, she's, California and I'm New Jersey. So she's like, I have this new opportunity. Like, we want you in this project. It's about NFTs, which back then, like, still a lot of people don't know what NFTs are. So I'm like, I don't know. And then I'd been out of Playboy for so long that it's kind of weird to get back in when you're like a mom and you have little kids. And so I first started with, okay, I want to be a part of this. And then little by little, I started doing a little bit of like collage work and stuff because I knew that Victoria was pretty busy. So I'm like, you guys should be promoting more. Like, you need to get the stuff up and out and tagging, and you should tag these people and you should tag these. She's like, can I just pay you to do this? And I'm like, yeah, you can.
Perfect. Okay. Welcome, fellow lushes. Come on in, pull up a bar stool, and enjoy some cocktails with Dimples and the Beard.
I just have to say, this is going to come out a week, or it's going to come out Monday, whatever the
Monday.
I don't know what the fuck date Monday is. August 1st, I think. Monday, August 1st, this will come out, which means that Josh Potter's latest episode from last week with Chase O'Donnell is still the newest episode of the Josh Potter Show, and I suggest, I recommend, not suggest, recommend you go watch it because it was hilarious. And did you see Josh Potter finally posted something about his dates in Chicago? So
coming up.
Can't wait. We'll be there. Front row. No, I don't know.
Be in the front row.
I'm gonna see if he'll put us on the list for front row. And we already bought tickets, but can you get us front row?
Put her up there.
I'll just be like, yeah. Can you? Since you still haven't worn our shirt.
Well, hopefully saving it for that night.
No, that's cool.
Oh, we want him on the podcast. That's right.
Well, there would be awesome too.
Has he picked it up yet?
No, yeah. He told me Kristen went and got it. Kristen's the producer of his show. What was I gonna say? Oh, he's in a new studio. He moved out of Ryan Sickler's studios, got a new studio for his podcast, and he just moved into a new place. He's finally got his own place.
Aw.
So him and
he just got it clean.
So him and Sarah Weinshank did a podcast from his new place.
Nice.
And it was the first thing that they did, and there's no furniture. They're sitting on the floor, and Sarah Weinshank and I have something in common.
You've eaten tacos naked on the floor?
No.
Oh. You both have vaginas?
Possibly. No, I definitely don't have a vagina. I have a butt-gina. That was really dumb. No, no, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, we both have been the one to christen our best friend's toilet in their new apartment. I thought it was fantastic that she brought it up on the episode that she christened his new toilet.
It is funny that she brought it up. I like it.
Yeah.
Good for her.
They're funny when they podcast together too, because they were both really high by the end of it.
Nice.
And they smoked a joint together, and by the end of it, Josh is like, "I am so high."
Good for him.
Yeah,
he's funny.
He is the man.
So we don't have to narrow it down, but what we're gonna go see in Nashville. If we're gonna spend every night's going to comedians, or if we're gonna go to one, we're gonna go to.
I'm definitely going to two.
Going to two.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Jeffries is fine. I go to him, but I like saw him before I saw everything else that was going on. I'm loyal to the people that have been on our show. So I'm going to go see Christina and Chase, and I'm going to go see Dave. So
do we not want to go to Minnesota?
No, I still want to go to Minnesota.
Okay. That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Saw that. I'm like, oh, okay.
And see Christina and Chase twice.
Yes.
I mean, I assume by the second time we see them on the same tour, Christina will be like, of course I'll take pictures with you. Why wouldn't I? So, you know.
We're in. Okay, done deal.
And we know, I mean, that I don't want to sound like we don't want pictures with Chase because of work. Of course we do.
I love you, Chase.
But we all
Forget him.
Anybody who sees and knows Chase's personality knows that she's the sweetest person. So
It's weirder than you. Because you don't like her anymore, apparently. You want to go take pictures with other people and ignoring her. I wouldn't ignore you, Chase. Don't worry, I won't ignore you. Jesus.
right in the fucking ear hole. You're lucky you're wearing,
Yeah. I mean, you're in the ear hole.
lucky you're fucking wearing them headphones. They'll stab you right in the ear. Sometimes you go too far. Too far.
Too
far.
Yeah.
It would be physically impossible to not like Chase O'Donnell. It would be impossible. So no.
Somebody got off on the wrong side of the bed.
Off on the wrong side of the bed. Yeah, I got off on the wrong side of the bed. Then I had to sleep in the wet spot, if you get it. But don't ching. No.
I didn't want that during the show.
I already opened mine too. I had a great day actually. So that new fucking puppy. Mwah! We'll talk more about that later because we got a pretty girl in the waiting room. And
You don't leave a pretty girl waiting.
you want to say it again, get it right this time.
I'll fuck it up again.
Nope.
Never leave a pretty lady waiting.
Keep. All right.
Coping skills for you.
You think? Story of my life. Hi.
We finally are talking.
Perfect. Well worth the wait. Yeah. Like I said, in some of the messages, you got more shows in under your belt, so we'll have more shows to talk about.
Heck
So-
yeah.
But we're gonna start with the business stuff because he and I could talk Dave Matthews all night. So
Yeah.
we want to make sure we get the business in first.
Business.
Okay.
Business first, always.
So tonight
Okay.
we're joined by Jennifer Pershing, Miss March 2009, and also the model and asset coordinator for Rogue Bunnies.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Brand new job. Very exciting.
So thank you very
Which,
much for coming on.
Yes, thank you.
We've
And
made
cheers.
a nice tequila beverage. So
You can't see it, but I used my fire dancer glass
Oh,
tonight.
perfect.
So did we.
we have them as well.
Cheers.
Cheers to you.
We
We use them
Yeah.
most every night.
Yeah, pretty much. We either have the Dave Matthews pint glass or the Dave Matthews tumbler most nights that we're with the podcast. So yeah.
As
True
you know.
fans.
Yeah. Well, it's hard not to be.
Yeah.
But business first. Well, and I do want to explain your new job and that title. Let's step.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
Go there first. Rogue Bunnies. Tell us about Rogue
start
Bunnies
with
and,
Rogue
and what.
Bunnies
Yeah.
and then go backwards. That's fine. Which is that's the newest, the latest thing. So yes, new job.
Yeah.
Perfect.
mean,
Heck of a title.
It's very exciting right now. We're about to launch the first set of trading cards in 2 days. So it's a lot of work behind the scenes. Victoria and the team and the Discord and everyone is just working so hard right now, and everyone's just so excited. But I guess it was just after New Year's Eve, and Ava Fabian calls me, and I'm like, why is Ava calling me? It's like weird when you get a phone call from people that you haven't heard from in a long time.
Yeah.
Sure.
So you kind of let it go to voicemail because you're like, I'm not quite sure what she wants, or maybe she doesn't mean to call me. And it was really late at night because our time difference, she's, California and I'm
Sure.
New Jersey. So she's like, I have this new opportunity. Like, we want you in this project. It's about NFTs, which back then, like, still a lot of people don't know what NFTs are. So I'm like, I don't know. And then I'd been out of Playboy for so long that it's kind of weird to get back in when you're like a mom and you have little kids. And
Sure.
so I first started with, okay, I want to be a part of this. And then little by little, I started doing a little bit of like collage work and stuff because I knew that Victoria was pretty busy. So I'm like, you guys should be promoting more. Like, you need to get the stuff up and out and tagging, and you should tag these people and you should tag. And she's like, can I just pay you to do this? And I'm like, yeah, you can. So,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah. So I had to learn, more intricate ways of like putting the videos together and all of that. But it's been a lot of fun, actually. It's nice to have a job that's fun that you can do while you're home and the kids are just driving you crazy. But every once in a while, they're having a camp out downstairs right now. I'm like, don't come upstairs, don't knock on the door.
It's quite all right. We talked with Sarah Elizabeth a few weeks ago, and she told her kids the same thing, and they ended up coming through. We just edit that out. It's all good.
Yeah.
Or if they're funny, we'll leave them in.
Yeah, that too. So it's just like, how many hours a week do you put into this?
I'm right now, it's a lot because I do the social media, but then I'm also kind of managing the ladies as well. So if they have questions or if they need help, like just today I had to get on the phone and help someone figure out a reel for the first time because there's a lot of components to making it. It takes a while, and I'm just like kind of on it all day long. And then I also have 2 other jobs and my 2 kids. So it's a lot of juggling, but I'm really tired by the end of the day, and then I just fall asleep and wake up and do it all over again.
Do it all over again. Isn't that the best part?
And anybody who's watching you guys knows that right now you're obviously very busy because there's a lot of promoting going on for Friday's trading card drop, and the artwork is beautiful. The digital,
really
they're gorgeous. Can you explain to us, if somebody wanted one of those on Friday, the steps to get one?
It's actually really easy because we're partnered with the Flow blockchain and Dapper Labs. So being a part of Dapper Labs makes it a little bit easier because you can actually buy them with a credit card. You don't have to know all of the conversion of crypto and have all of those things. So, and we're going to make it as easy as going to roguebunnies.com, and there'll be a link right on the website to take you right to the marketplace to purchase them. So it couldn't be easier. And it's really going to be cool the way they're being sold in blind packs. So you can choose which kind of blind pack just like a regular pack of trading cards would be.
I was going to say, the old school, you never know what you're going to get. That's clever.
Yeah. But then as you trade them up or collect more, then you get more and more access when we have, special events in the Rogue Mansion that we're building and all of those things. So there's a lot of fun things to come with the project.
Yeah, we've heard about the mansion. That sounds amazing once it comes out.
Yeah, it's going to be really cool.
So it's not it's not like a first come first serve thing with these cards. You're buying, like, if somebody wanted a specific person, they couldn't go and buy it anyway. So just any time on Friday and going forward, you can go on there and buy packs.
Yeah, I believe there's you can purchase certain levels, because there's so it's funny because there's Victoria and Darian and Brian who are talking technical things, and then I just kind of chime in with like, hi, what kind of link do we want put on this kind of a post? Like, so I'm like reading through all of this jargon that makes zero sense to me. And so there's going to be, I believe, different levels and values of the packs that you can purchase. And then you have so much of a chance to get an epic or a rare or a legendary in those blind packs. So it'll be fun to see who gets, the best cards, and then they go on the secondary market where people are going to want to come collect all of the collection. Yeah. And then this is just the first drop of 25. All in all, we'll have 100 trading cards in different variations. So there's going to be so many just floating out there. It's going to be great.
But it's a limited run of each set of 25.
Yeah. So each girl will have a certain set of NFTs that will go, and then once they sell out, then they sell out, and then it goes into the secondary market, which is everyone buying them from each other at that point. So and then the next set will come out, and then we have more drops in the future, and then there's the Victoria's vision. Sometimes you just listen, like sometimes I'll just get on the phone with her and she just has all these ideas, and I'm like, how do you keep all of those ideas in your brain and then still do the work you have to do today? Because she's just so visionary in in her mind. She just has she has the whole roadmap, but now she just has to like put it to work, and she needs all the people to do the things that she needs them to do. So, you know, but she's amazing. It's been great to reconnect with her, because she was actually one of like my favorite people to hang out with at the mansion, because she was just so down to earth, you know, no nonsense kind of person. So
you couldn't have a better person driving this.
I was going to say, when you were saying she's part of the technical team, and we've had her on twice, and she's explained it to us both times, and neither one of us still really understand. But
so that's why the trading card is nice, because before it was a whole, you had to have a wallet, you had to sign up here, but it's nice you made it a lot easier this time. So
it's
for guys like us.
I'm excited to be on the actual NFT side of it, and not just the behind the scenes promoting it side. So it's very cool to be an NFT, because I never thought in a million years that's anything that I would be promoting for myself at this point in my life. So
when Victoria called the first time, how much knowledge did you have? Did you know anything about NFTs at that point?
No. We did a Zoom call, actually. So it was maybe 10 of us, and it was nerve-wracking, because I'm like, oh, you have to be like on camera. And it was like right after New Year's, right after COVID, you know, we've all been sitting in our houses drinking too much. Like, you know, I'm like, they're not going to want me to do any of this stuff. I'm not in Playboy shape, you know? So I'm like freaking out. And then it's like, no, like nothing in person, all through avatar. You just have to show up and it's your voice. I'm like, okay, cool. I can do that, you know? So, I don't know. It took me a while to like want to put myself back out there again too. 'Cause it's, you know, it's weird when I have an 8-year-old and a 6-year-old boy, and, you know, they're going to eventually figure out, you know, I was in this magazine, that, you know, there's going to be questions at some point in their life.
If
so
they don't,
do I really want to put
their friends will find out for them.
Exactly. I'm counting the minutes. I know it's going to happen soon. So
how long has it been since the last time you've thought about Playboy or did anything with Playboy?
I mean, I moved back to New Jersey in 2011, and maybe like 2013 was the last time I worked a promo for them. And that was pretty much around the time where they dropped all of their sponsorships and kind of went in a different direction anyway. So they weren't really using anybody beyond that. But I started having kids, and there was no fitting back into the bunny suit after, you know, a couple kids. And it's just like, I can't even imagine doing that right now. So I kind of just let it go. But I only really was in it for a couple of years. So it was sort of bittersweet, because the high part of it was really amazing. But then when it was time to like let it go, it was time to let it go. But this is great, because this is so apart from all of that, and we're just paving our own path now. So we can make it whatever we want it to be.
Sure. Yeah.
As you are. Yeah.
And how did your Playboy experience get started? Did you audition for the magazine? Were you kind of found for the magazine?
Okay, so this is a colorful story. So are you familiar with the band Steel Panther?
Yeah. We love them.
Okay. Are you being serious? Do you know who they are? Of course.
We do know.
I know who they are. Absolutely. Yeah. For sure.
It's a joke. But we do know who they are.
I lived in LA, and I can't remember how. I'm a huge fan of 80s metal. Like, it's my favorite genre. It's just it for me. So a friend of mine took me to see Metal School. They were Metal School back then. And I just looked, I'm like, this is where I need to be every Monday night. This is just it for me. Like, I'm off on Tuesdays. I'm going to request off every Tuesday, and I'm here every single Monday. So that's what I did. And then I eventually worked my way up to the front of the stage, and then they would bring the little camera around to like hype up the crowd in the beginning.
Yeah.
And I'm from New Jersey, and growing up, you knew at the bar that when you want a free drink, you just you know,
Wait, that works in Wisconsin too. Just
does
saying.
it?
Yeah,
I'm sure it works in a lot of places. So anyway, so they would come around with that camera because they knew where I would be every week, and you know, so they'd pull me up on stage and do it too. Not that I'm proud of this at this point, but listen, it got me where it needed to get me. So, I eventually met the bands. Like, we would hang out in the parking lot afterwards and just like talk and chit chat. The drummer says, I have a friend and he has a question to ask you, and I'm sorry. I have nothing to do with this. Please don't be offended. So backtracking, I watched this movie, The Secret, and I'm a big believer in The Secret, the law of attraction. So I was like, I'm going to put this to the test. So for about 3 months, I'm like, I'm going to be in Playboy. I'm going to be in Playboy. And I would say it every day. And I got the subscription. I'm like, what do I need to look like? What do you know, all the things. So he comes up to me and he says, hi, I work at the Playboy Mansion. I see you here every week. Would you ever pose for Playboy? I'm like, you have to be kidding me. Because I just was for 3 months going, I'm going to be in Playboy. I'm going to be in Playboy. And here's someone from the mansion saying, so he gave me his card, which was real. So the next week I gave him pictures that he took and gave to Holly, because that was back when Holly was still living at the mansion.
Okay.
And then I got a handwritten note from Holly with the studio number. And I went in and then I did my test shoot. And it was like so surreal how that all came about from Steel Panther of all places.
Right.
You know?
Now I understand why you're if you follow the Instagram page enough, you see a lot of Steel Panther. So you
yeah.
and loyal to them.
They were just here in Atlantic City and I just got to see them, and I'm up on stage and the drummer stops drumming to like get up and chit chat with me like right from in the middle of the show. He's like, no, I'll stop drumming. I'm going to come talk to you. So it was really fun. Those guys are awesome.
Is it
They
all
were
the original members since back then?
Yeah. Well, no, the bass player,
Okay.
Lexi Fox left, and it was actually my friend Joe, who's Spider. He was filling in, but it was nice because I got to see an extra friend too while they were in Atlanta. So yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I'm a big Motley Crue fan, and I saw that you were at the stadium tour, and I was a little jealous.
Mm-hmm.
We had actually bought tickets when it was supposed to happen before the pandemic. We ended up getting rid of them. I think we went to a Dave show.
I think we went to another Dave show.
So
see, that was my concern, because when they rescheduled for this year, it was rescheduled for the weekend that Dave's always in Camden. And I said to myself, oh no, because I might have to make a choice here. Like, I don't know what I would have chosen, to be honest with you, because I would have been in either one of them wishing I was at the other one. So I was so glad that Dave didn't do Camden last year, so that when he came back this year, that weekend was already booked. It's like, oh, that was the
perfect. Perfect. Yeah, see, things work the way they're supposed to work.
Yes.
Yeah. So how was that stadium show? I mean, from the videos I've seen, it looks intense.
It was, we were in a club box, which was very nice because it was about 100 degrees and very humid in Philadelphia that day. So to be down, I did have seats that were down lower, but then we got, offered seats in a club box. And my husband's not the biggest concert, he doesn't really want to go. He's just kind of like there for support, and so I can get very drunk and he'll drive me home. So
good man,
right?
Right? I mean, come on. So it was air conditioned and there was free food and drink, so that he was happy. And then I just stood there and screamed and sang all the songs. Like Def Leppard was amazing.
Yeah.
And Poison, I've seen Poison a couple of times. They always put on a great show. So it was very cool.
Awesome.
How did Vince sound?
From where I was, he sounded great. I
Okay.
don't know. I don't know. The people in the front it's like, I've seen a lot of videos. The thing about a concert though, there's so much echo that anything kind of sounds good. You know, it's the people
Sure.
in the front with the cell phones that are recording, and then
Yeah.
you like hear it back and it's, oh, but I've actually been on stage with Steel Panther with Vince Neil, and he was singing Kickstart My Heart, and he put the microphone in my face, and I'm like, I forget the words because I'm on stage with Vince Neil, and none of my friends thought to take a video of this happening, so I have no way to prove that this happened, but it's in my memory, so I know that it really happened.
It's a great memory, anyways.
I hate it. Like that happened to me once just with a local band where one of my buddies singing, and it was some Red Hot Chili Pepper song, and he tried to get me to sing it, and I didn't know the words. And after the show, I'm like, you just did that because you forgot the words. He's like, yep, that's why I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, thanks, buddy.
You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
I mean,
made me look like the idiot instead of him.
He's a smart man.
Right?
But yeah, that must have been a great evening. All those bands are fun. But I have heard that Def Leppard has been really kind of the highlight of the tour so far.
It was so good. And then there was kind of talk that they were going to tour again. So if that happens, I'm definitely going to go see them again, because they were very, very good. I was very pleased. I know I was happy that I wore my Def Leppard shirt that day too, because they really like pulled it out.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Where were we? Talking about Motley Crue and Def Leppard.
We were. But I want to hear any Playboy Mansion stories that you have. Did you spend much time there? It said you kind of said you did. And movie night and all that fun.
Yeah, I actually lived in the Bunny house for about 1.5 years. So
fun.
Yeah, there's a lot of stories that have to stay there. But no, I mean, it was such a great experience, being able to stay there, and movie nights and game nights with Hef, where there was like 6 of us and Hef, and we would play Uno or Mexican train dominoes every Tuesday night. It was so much fun. Just those little things that so many people wish that they would have the chance to be able to do, and it just was like home for a little while. I had the best roommate, Jamie Edmondson. She was so much fun. She kept me in line because I was a little wild back then, and she's like, listen, I need to go to sleep. You need to be quiet. We need quiet time. So she kept me in line. And we had the sweetest, her little dog lived in the room with us, and she was like my best friend. But yeah, I mean, lots of stories. We had, topless tanning Tuesdays in the backyard at the Bunny house, because we were just like secluded in the backyard, and we could go over. Like, the parties were amazing. You just walk up to the back gate and the doors would just open for you because you were supposed to be there. It was so cool. It was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Hef was just the nicest person. And I'll just never forget that time up there at all. It was so wonderful.
Yeah.
Is the best word I used to describe it.
We love hearing the good, positive stories about Hef. Obviously we've heard so many. And do you have a favorite Hef memory?
Oh gosh. Yeah, actually I do, because when I was filming shooting my the background story for my pictorial, and Steel Panther was the focus, because I remember going up to meet him the day I shot my test, and I was so scared, because here you're like driving. I had to drive up there by myself with this little handwritten map from the makeup artist, because Holly came in the room and she's like, you should come up tonight and meet Hef. I'm like, what? I don't go anywhere by myself. I have to go by myself. And she's like, yeah, you have to come by yourself. I'm like, okay. Drive my little car up there. I think I had a neon at the time. And door opens up and I meet him, and she came out and sat with me at the table, and she's like, if you could pick any theme, what would it be? And I said, hands down, it's 80s metal. I want to be in like Hot for Teacher video, like just perfect. I just want it to just be Steel Panther, and her eyes lit up because I think because they had their curfew, they could never go see Steel Panther because they didn't go on until midnight on Monday. So here comes this girl that wants this to be heard. So, you know, so one night we all went out. So all the girls came to Steel Panther with me to shoot. And here comes Hef down the stairs. And he walks right up to me and he goes, so you're the one that's taking my girls out past, 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I'm like, he's never going to approve me now. I've made him angry. I was, and then after that, I was so nervous the whole night because I had to like make sure, even though they had their own security detail, I'm like, nothing can happen to them tonight or he'll blame me for this. There was so much pressure. But he always had a one-liner to every situation. And if you ever had a problem, all you had to do was ask and he would find a solution. And it just was, all of these people come in and out of that, would come in and out all the time. And everyone felt like they belonged there. And it was just so nice. And it felt safe is the biggest thing. Like I always felt safe up there. So,
that's what we hear a lot of.
Yeah, for sure.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
So
it was great.
At the peak, how many girls lived on the mansion?
I mean, as girlfriends or like
no, just living there.
Well, the house across the street, which is where I lived, there was maybe like 6 or 7 of us living in there because there would be like 2 girls to a room. So there was like 4 or 5 bedrooms. There was probably a good 7 girls living there when I was there, but we would always be traveling or doing different promotions. So we weren't ever all there at the same time.
Sure.
So sometimes I was in that whole big house by myself for like weeks and it would be so like scary, but I always had Jamie's dog there with me. So I felt a little protected. Plus they checked the doors like every hour they would walk the grounds and check the doors and
wow.
Oh, nice.
Make sure everything was safe. And it just felt so safe. It was just so comfortable there. I loved it. I was sad when I had to move. When I moved back home to New Jersey, I'm like, do I really have to do this?
That's got to be a hard life to move away from.
Right.
Yeah,
you mentioned
it was.
movie night and game night on a specific night. What night was pillow fight night?
Well,
every night.
Oh, every night. Okay.
Wait, yeah, I can't. I know it happened a couple times just to be silly because there's like a stigma with living at the Playboy Mansion, but really we all just wanted to watch movies in the movie room. So we would go on a random night and call upstairs and be like, Hef, can we watch a movie? And he would come down with a selection of all of these movies that he thought we should watch, which I loved the old movies because it reminded me of watching movies with my grandmother.
Yeah.
And so Friday movie night was my favorite because it was a black and white movie and there was always popcorn and the Jack Daniels just tasted different at the mansion. It was just like so good. So I'd get my cocktail and I would get my popcorn and just like we would get all these big pillows and lay on the ground and just watch the movie. But yeah, like he would come and say, well, how would you like to select from these? And we'd be like, yeah, no, could you maybe just put on, I don't know what we would watch. I made the girls watch The Money Pit one time and they weren't very happy with me after.
I love that movie.
I mean, it's one of my favorite movies, but yeah, I have a different taste in everything, it seems like, than the people I actually hang out.
I was going to ask if since you love all the 80s music, you love 80s comedies, and because they were just different 80s action. They were just
everything of the 80s was the best. I just the other night made my husband watch Footloose with Kevin Bacon and he'd never seen it before. I'm like, this can't happen. We need to do one 80s movie a week.
There you go. There you go.
Catch you up on at least, for trivia purposes. You never know when you're going to get asked a question. So
do you have a favorite 80s movie?
My favorite, I mean,
I'm partial to Breakfast Club. The Burbs? Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm a huge Tom Hanks, like Money Pit, like everything he was in the 80s was hilarious to me. But yeah, The Burbs, Dirty Dancing. I don't know. I could watch The Burbs all day.
Yeah.
When they used to just play the same movie on repeat over and over and over and over, I would sit there all day as a kid and just watch the same movie over and over and over.
Nice.
And obviously a Kevin Bacon fan because you went and saw him live.
Yeah. Oh, right. You saw that video too. Yeah. That was a very, that was impromptu because it was the night after Motley Crue, and the person that we were there at Motley Crue with was putting on the show, sort of, it was like a charity event, and he was performing. So he's like, come through. So we came through, and then all of a sudden Kevin Bacon singing Footloose, and I couldn't even post the whole video because half of the video was just me screaming, which no one would hear. You've had a couple of drinks, you think you're being cute because you're screaming, but all of a sudden it's just noise, and it was very embarrassing. So I'm like, edit the video, we'll put the last part on it, and then everyone else can actually hear what he's saying or singing. But yeah, he was 20 feet from me. I was like fangirling so hard.
That's cool.
Seems like a good dude too.
Yeah.
He does. Yeah. And yeah, it's good music. They play good stuff. So
I did see on your Twitter, hashtag handpicked by Hef.
Well, yeah. So Rogue Bunnies, the 100 are the girls that were chosen by Hef. So we're putting Playmate in our project that were actually selected by him while he was alive and running the magazine. So this is how we're kind of, paying our tribute to him and everything that he did for us in our careers and all of that by, keeping it the girls that he picked himself. So
yeah, that's cool. I like I like that we keep
yeah.
talking to you guys because we find out little tidbits of new information every time. We certainly hadn't heard that. That's cool. I didn't know where the 100 came from, if it was just Victoria picked some or what, but that's a cool little fact.
Right. Well, I assumed it was that you got picked for your spread, but you told the story. I'm like, well, all right, different meaning. So yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's kind of our way of like it was my personal way of, I used to have like Playmate, Playboy, blah blah blah, but now I'm not really that anymore. I'm full steam ahead with Rogue Bunnies, and handpicked by Hef was just that way of making that stand out without it being hashtag Playboy, kind of thing anymore. So
right, yeah,
little twist.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Make it fun.
Where we go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm
gonna say, what do you recall the first time you heard Dave Matthews and what song it was that got you hooked, line, and sinker?
So I'm a person who I remember experiences from the music that I heard when I was there. So when I was 18, I took my first trip ever leaving New Jersey. I went to Las Vegas with my high school boyfriend at the time to go visit one of his friends. So whenever we were driving around in his car, he was always playing Dave Matthews.
Oh.
So I kind of was really never a fan before this trip. But then I had so much fun out there, and the West Coast kind of spoke to me, and I knew that I needed to live out there someday. And then when we came back, I'm like, I just want that feeling over and over again. So then I just started listening to Dave Matthews, and then you start with the first album, and then Before These Crowded Streets came out, which is my favorite that they've ever put out ever. And it was kind of right at that time because it was 99.
Yeah, right about there. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. And then just every time I listened to the music, I just felt good, and that's what you want music to do for you. So then at the time I was working at CVS, I was a shift supervisor, and the manager of my store, his wife worked for a company that had, a box seat at the First Union Center in Philadelphia. So he got me tickets through her to go see him. And the first show I was like, this, I don't care if I have to be in the last seat all the way at the top. Can't see anything. I need to be in the room as much as possible. So from that moment on, I'm like, this is my thing. So everyone needs their thing.
Yeah.
That's my thing. You know, it's like, it's
Nice.
Dave Day. Don't mess with me. Like, it's Dave Day. Don't
You
be
get it.
late. Don't make me late. You know?
Yeah.
Like this, if I bring you with me, this is a special experience. You know, I don't just take anyone to a Dave show.
Yeah.
So, and then it was funny because my husband, I flew home to Atlantic City to do a promo, and I had an extra ticket for the show the next night for the winter tour. And it was kind of a make it or break it sort of thing. Like, I have an extra ticket to Dave Matthews, will you come with me? And he went. And it wouldn't have gone any further if he had said no. So
I bet he's doing this right about now. Shoot.
or maybe not, because he has to go to all of them with me, and I don't think he enjoys it as much as he did that night. But oh well.
Oh well is what I say. Oh well.
Yeah, there's worse things he could be doing. So I mean,
Worst thing, yeah, you could tell him that.
But everything you just said is so true. You know, it's our time. It's just our thing, and don't mess with it. Don't mess with it.
No, but do you guys feel like this too? Because there's so much I put in this like countdown to the day, and it's, you know, this many days till we go, and then after it's over, I feel like I have a couple days where I'm just kind of real bummed because there's no more to look forward to.
yeah.
And I get like there's just such a can't wait for Dave Day, you know what I mean? And
Yes.
then it's like you go and you scream and you do all the things, and they play Gray Street, and you just, well, at least I just cry, and then the next day I'm just like depleted. I'm like, I need more concerts. That's why I was hoping to win the Hollywood Bowl. I'm like, I want to win Hollywood Bowl. I want to go so bad.
Yeah.
I just have to buy them, I think. I just have to do it.
It's worth it. It's a great
It's a
venue to
great
go to.
venue, yeah.
Mhm.
Anyway, let's get back to Dave Matthews Band. How many shows do you have under your belt?
I really stopped counting at
Okay.
like 100, like, because I'm like, okay, this is a little to people, it's a little crazy. I know that like a lot of people are like need to know their exact number, but I just know that if I can drive to it and I can afford the ticket, I'm going to be there for as long as they're touring. And you know, it's just, that's the only thing. See, and I have a lot of anxiety of doing things, but I would never not go to a concert. I would get in the car, I would drive myself, and I'd stand there by myself if I had to, because I'm not going to miss a Dave show. It's just the one, it's been the one constant thing for the past 20 years.
Yeah.
That it's just the thing I look forward to doing all the time. And just, it's just like, it recharges my batteries, and I just reset every time. It's amazing.
Absolutely.
We're completely with you. My old girlfriend, when we were going to all these shows, and she would never go with, but we would tell stories when we got back, and we meet up with people from all over the country to get, and she just was like, well, you're off to your cult again. You're part of a cult.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
Well, the
I'm
best thing for me was one of the butlers at the mansion is a bigger Dave Matthews fan than me. So we've stayed very close, like even after, because when I'm at a show, he's watching the set list, texting me, I can't believe you're getting this one. I can't believe you're getting that one. And he started taking his son, who he named Carter, because he's his favorite person in the band is Carter.
Yeah.
And we just, it's just Dave people.
Mm-hmm.
Just are Dave people. It's just the coolest thing. Like, wouldn't you find out someone likes Dave Matthews? Because I feel like there's this line in the sand. You either really love Dave Matthews or you won't listen to him at all. There's just no one in between.
Right.
So I feel like once you're on the other side, where you're like, I go to Dave shows. Okay, you're in. We can be best friends. I know nothing about you, but now we're best friends.
Yeah, it is in for life. Yeah,
and it is one of the show. One of the concert. I always say that you could go alone if you had to, because you'll meet up with great people within minutes.
Yes.
And
nice people.
Yeah,
and nice people. I know.
And I'm just,
Like,
I
I
dance
guess-
the whole show, so I don't care who's around me. But once the show
Yeah,
starts,
I
I'm
do
done.
too.
Yeah.
I had this because I'm from New Jersey, so when I lived in California, I had this, wall. I wasn't openly nice to people that I didn't know.
Sure.
So I took my one friend as my plus one, and I always used to buy their ticket because I always felt if I buy your ticket, you can't complain. Just come with me. Don't complain. I bought your ticket. You get a free show.
Fair
I'll
enough.
buy you a couple drinks. Let's just go hang out. So I would, pack my trunk with like extra beer and extra solo cups, and we'd be in the parking lot and I'm handing out cups, and she looked at me and she goes, "Why are you being nice to these people? You don't know them." I've never seen you be nice to people before. And I'm like, the Dave people, these are my people. She's like, "This is so weird." She was like so weirded out. But no, it's just a different type of person that likes Dave, and you just feel safe at the show. There, you don't see fights breaking out and people pushing each other and all of if someone brings a kid to the show, everyone makes sure the kid gets up front. It's just very family oriented. Yeah.
I'm with you. I've now brought both my daughters many times.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting there. Once mine can stay up that late, because the one thing I won't do is leave early for a child at a Dave show. So they've got to be able to stay up.
Right. Every man for himself at this point.
Yeah.
Kid, if you're sleepy,
and then I'll spend. Yeah.
Drink a Red Bull.
The tickets are too expensive to leave early. I'm there till the end.
So with 100 shows under your belt, I can safely assume you don't have a particular favorite show, but you have a favorite venue.
No, I do have a favorite show
actually,
and it was last year. My husband got tickets for me in Maryland. They played at it was a Merriweather Post Pavilion, if I'm remembering that correctly. So that's about 3 hours from us. And I think my parents were supposed to watch my kids, but then my dad got COVID. And then it was like, what are we going to do with our kids? So my friend, my friends were like, "You're not missing this. I'll take your kids for the night." I'm like, really? This was their first like sleepover at a friend's house. I'm like, I hope they're good for you, but this is Dave Matthews. So bye. Like, thanks so much. So we drive down. The venue was amazing. It was so small. And we had seats that were literally like one row elevated above the pit. So it's just like me and them. It's like they were like playing for me. And the song that I've been chasing for 10 years, write a song, like chasing it. The only time I was at a show they played, well, I wasn't at the show. So they did the DMB Caravan in Atlantic City, and they did 3 nights on Bader Field. And the night that we had a wedding to go to, so I couldn't go to that show, they played it. And I was in the same town while they were playing it, and that burned. So I never quite got over it. And that was the song I wanted. And I just kept like humming the tune. And every time a song would end, I'd hum the tune to my husband. And then he started singing it. And my husband was like, "I wish you could have seen your face," because he was singing it. And it just was that moment. And I'll never forget that show as long as I live. It was the best show. And it was such a random, here, we got tickets, let's just make it happen, Yeah. So yes, I do have a favorite show.
Well, I think
perfect.
When you've been to that many shows, and you narrow it down to a moment like that totally elevates the entire show. So totally get that.
I was also at the show the night Leroy passed away, when they played Staples Center in Los Angeles. I was at the shows both of those nights too. And that's when they brought 41 back, which was my favorite song back then. And they never played it. I just wanted 41. I have it tattooed on my neck. It's my song. And the night Roy died, or they played all his favorite songs. The second night they played all the songs that he didn't like to play. So Dave goes, "Roy hated this song." And then he goes into 41, and I just start crying. So I'm like, I'm getting my song, but then I realize hadn't gotten it for so long because he didn't like playing it. And then it was like, they play it all the time, which is awesome. But those two shows were very memorable also.
I can imagine. Yeah.
I've just heard like the bootlegs of them, and just the emotion in Dave's voice when they first walk out on stage is like, woo. Yeah.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
A big one.
There wasn't a dry eye in the place, except for all the people who were the plus ones are like, what is wrong with all of you people? Because everyone was just crying. Yeah. And then there's the other person standing there, like, it was like every other person crying and every other person going, what did I get myself into?
Oh, that's funny. But that's so true. Yeah. Not that we ever wanted to see it, but yeah, it'd have been great to be there.
So you're, are you close? Do you go to the SPAC shows?
No, I'm about 4 hours away, and that is definitely on the bucket list of, if I had infinite money, like, let's hope these NFTs take off and I've got a little extra money, because it's going to go straight into Dave Matthews shows. But yeah, I definitely want to go there. And I have a friend in Virginia Beach. I would like to drive down there at some point. I would love to. I just want to go to all the shows where they get all the best shows, and SPAC is like, they get the best shows there.
They do get some.
That is for sure. And the Gorge, I have to do that at least once.
Yeah, we did. We
finally got there last year.
Yeah, last year was our first one.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
When half the band was out, so it was
right.
Yeah.
But how unique was that Gorge experience, though?
Right.
I mean, you have to, like, they could have just canceled it, but no, they like kept it going. I thought that was very cool.
I did, and there were a few people on, posting and complaining, and it's just like you said, why complain? They're doing something about it, and they're making the best of it, and it's an experience that I'll never forget.
Well, yeah, we saw shows and nobody's ever going to see again. I mean,
right?
You're never going to see that configuration again. So. And they're fortunate enough to have guys on the stage that are so talented that they can, Buddy moving over to the drum set. And I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah, that was so cool. He's amazing, by the way. He brings so much to that band.
He does.
I really like watching him play.
Yeah, we got to meet him, Buddy, a couple.
You did?
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Right when he started. Well, he kind of goes, he just started, and he's like, let's reach out to that guy. He's new.
Well, yeah, we created shirts that just said #BuddyStrong since 2018. And I had put them out on the Twitter. Well, I don't remember where, but I tagged him, and he messaged me back, and he's like, how do I get one of these? And I'm like, of course you can have one. What do you mean? So we were going to shows out in California, and he had just had it they had security bring us back just to him. We didn't get to meet any of the rest of the band, but he was super cool. Really nice.
Thing. Yeah, I got to go on Carter's bus, actually, Hollywood Bowl. Like, I think it was 2010. That was a cool experience. And so my friend Deanna Brooks, who's also one of the Rogue Bunnies in this first drop, she had a friend who grew up with Carter, got us all backstage passes. Yeah, so we're on the bus, but the whole night you're gonna meet Dave. You're gonna meet Dave, and I'm like, okay, but I'm not gonna tell myself that I'm gonna meet Dave, because if I don't meet Dave, I'm not gonna be disappointed. And I didn't meet Dave, and I have not yet met Dave. It'll happen someday. But everyone had Sharpies, because I always said I was gonna have him sign me, and I was gonna go have it tattooed right as he did it. Like, I would leave there and go have it tattooed. But like, thinking further, if I ever met him, I would have him draw me a picture, and then I would have that tattooed. I think that would be a little bit cooler. But yeah, I was on, and I met Tim Reynolds, and it was so surreal that I feel like I met more people, but I kind of was in that realm of, I can't believe this is happening to me right now, kind of fog. So, but that was another memorable night. So many memorable nights with Dave Matthews Band. Gotta love it.
They kind of all are, I think.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah.
I don't.
Yeah.
And people that leave early, like you said, and people that complain, I'm like, what? It's Dave live. What more? I don't care what song he plays. If he wants to, what would I be doing better right now?
Well, right. Exactly.
And just how they never play the same show twice, because if I had gone to the Motley Crue Stadium tour 2 nights in a row, I would have heard the same exact show on Friday and Saturday night. But if you go to Dave on Friday and Saturday night, you're not going to get, maybe one song will like double up if it's a brand new song and he wants to hit everybody with that song. There's in 100 shows, I've never seen a duplicate show. Yeah. So every ticket is worth the money. I mean, you don't have to convince me, obviously. I should have worn my Dave shirt. I almost did too.
Heck yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to be convinced either. Do you have any more shows this year? Are you done for the year? I don't. I'm going through my little mourning phase right now because I'm kind of sad. But I'm like, maybe I can work out Hollywood Bowl. I don't know. That's the one I really want to go to because it's the last 2 dates of the tour, and it would be nice to visit everyone in LA. And Victoria's headed back to the West Coast tomorrow, actually. So I would like to connect with her and some more of the Rogue Bunnies, maybe call it a work trip, you know?
I was just thinking that. It's a work trip.
Tax write-off. You know? We're making the trip out to Colorado for the 2 shows right after the Gorge. So we are awesome. Our last 2 shows for the year.
It is. We didn't hit 100 like you, but
no, and sadly we're going to end for some reason both of us have the same number of shows, even though we've gone to different shows. For some reason we'll hit 49 after Colorado. So I'm like, if they retire after this year and I don't at least hit 50, I'm going to be really mad.
Don't say that. They're not retiring.
No, they got new
Rolling Stones are still performing. No. Dave Matthews will go on for forever.
Yeah, we got plenty of time.
What would I do?
Right.
There really isn't anything else out there like that. So yeah, what would we do?
I don't know. Where would I spend all my money?
That's why we work to go see Dave. Now that my kids are out.
That's exactly what we do.
Yep.
Kids, you're on your own. Dad's going to Dave.
But wait, now I have a question to ask, kind of a little bone to pick then, because you had just recently had a post. You were at some beach club thing with music, and you said the best day of music all summer.
Okay, so I like all music. Yeah. So a Dave show will make me just as excited as the night that I went to the club performance of Method Man and Redman, because I like all music. That was one of the best nights of my life, I have to say. They were standing on the podium where my table was, and they were performing for the crowd, and they were like, I could touch them, and it was just so cool. I just feel like if you like all kinds of music, you're always going to have a good time, no matter where you are. And so the DJ that was there at the day club, he plays like the 2000s rave music that all the kids used to spin the glow sticks to in the club, kind of thing. So it's just the fun music from you just remember when you were younger. But now everyone at the day club is my age, and they're not 12 and it looked like 12 years old looking. It's like an older crowd, but everyone's just going insane. And the music was great, and it's my husband's favorite day of the year because he used to be one of the glow stick spinning people, and I never did that, but I don't understand it. I don't have the coordination. Yeah. But no, there's something about music, the ocean breeze, people drinking, watching them all spray each other with champagne, which I think is the silliest thing anyone could ever do.
Yeah, right.
But they all love it. It's just people watching at its finest. So
and obviously I'm just messing with you. Because when I ask you your favorite show or your favorite show of all time, if I ever get asked that, for me, the answer is always, well, the last one I was at, because every time I go to live music, it's the best, I agree with you. It's the best day ever.
It is.
So
the whole day.
You just have to keep recharging the battery with it. It's just it's live music in general. Yeah. If Dave was here every week, I'd go every week and I'd never get tired of it. That's why I went to Steel Panther every week for 2 years. Never missed a week. So
that's crazy. Wow.
So you did post that when you did go see him in New Jersey, you missed the first song because of you said you had a story of why you missed the first song.
Yeah. So now after COVID, they've got this clear bag policy, which is super fun. So you can park a mile away and walk all the way to the show, and then they bag. And if your bag is 1 inch too big, which mine was 1 inch, had nothing in it, just money, my ID, maybe a lipstick, a little liquid IV packet in case I drank too much. Like, wasn't smuggling anything in that was really bad. Nope. So you can either go coat check your purse in the garage in the back, and immediately I'm thinking, okay, after a concert, I'm going to want to go home, not stand in a line to wait to get my purse. So I had to run a mile back to my car to drop my little purse. And thank God I wore pants with pockets because I'm shoving my phone and my ticket and all of my things. And then I had to run all the way back.
Oh no!
And then you're back in the same long security line. And by the time we got in, but it was he was playing Shotgun, which that song makes me sad anyway. So I'm kind of glad I missed it because that would have just like set that off on a sad note. Like I'm not a fan of that song because to me it's very sad. But
the lyrics are
yeah, it's just a little much. But yeah, I was so mad because I like when the lights go down and the crowd stands up and everyone cheers and he kind of just walks out.
Oh, yeah.
It's just the best. It's just the best.
Yeah.
And I missed that.
What you were saying leading up to it, and then it's beginning. He walks out.
And then halfway through, you're looking at your phone and you're like, okay, we got an hour left. We've got a half hour left.
Right.
The time is like ticking down. Oh, it's such an experience. I'm so glad that they do that for us because,
Well, at least it wasn't a bad story, like a tragic story, I should say.
No,
that's good.
No, I mean, tragic in the way that, I had to run, which was fun. And then I was just like hot the whole time. And I'm pretty sure that's how I like twisted my ankle. I could hardly walk for like the next week because I'm old now. I shouldn't be running after drinking a couple seltzers. Whatever.
Right?
I find
next time I'll bring the clear purse, live and learn.
Yep. There you go. I find the perfect way to, when you go into a Dave show, is just to buy one bottle of his wine and it lasts the whole show. Sipping, and it's the perfect amount for his show.
Yeah.
For myself.
There you go.
I don't share.
Just for you. Yeah.
No. Because they pour it in that carafe and you just drink it out of the carafe. Yeah.
The last two shows though, I have my youngest daughter with me, and we shared the wine, so that was nice. She's 19.
Okay. Fine.
It's not like I didn't want you to think she was like...
Your child. You can do whatever you want.
I just thought...
She's 12.
8. I'm like, wait. No. I did break the law.
She was a mess.
But... No, Dad might have been.
No judgment here.
You do need to put Alpine Valley on your bucket list as well, because our home venue is... It's beautiful. And if... it's not the Gorge. Nothing will be the Gorge, but for
the Midwest, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's definitely the holy grail of the Midwest, so.
Yeah, I think I would like my main goal in life has always been to win enough money to follow a whole tour.
Yeah.
Just get my own tour bus and just follow behind them and just go to all the stops. No one would go with me. Maybe you guys would.
Yeah.
I'll quit tomorrow.
Yeah, I have no problem.
I'm like, really need to hit that Mega Millions because that's what I was going to do the rest of the tour. But
$1 billion tonight or Friday night.
Insane.
Yeah.
Oh,
Mega Millions, $1 billion. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
Can we write that off as a business expense? Does that count? Yeah,
we're in for the tickets.
Oh. Right.
So good luck with the Rogue Bunnies. Friday night, is a big launch. Friday. All day.
It'll happen sometime on Friday, and then we're gonna have a party on Twitter Spaces on Friday night. So if you guys aren't busy,
cool,
pop in. we'll post the link as soon as we have it.
We will.
And yeah, it's exciting. I'm excited.
Yeah, I think we're going to be podcasting on Friday night, so we'll definitely we'll mix a little bit of that into the podcast. It'll be fun.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, cool.
We'll come say hi. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for coming on. I'm glad we
Thanks for having me.
we got this. And if you're ever in Wisconsin, you're at Alpine Valley, let us know because we will be there.
We'll definitely do that.
All right.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, guys.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you for listening. The tavern is closed for now, but we'd love to have you back for more fun next time. Seriously though, get your asses out of here.